Hi there. In this video, we will study how to estimate the amount of allowance. The method that we will study in this video is the percentage of accounts receivable method. That is, to estimate the amount of allowance, you should first know the ending balance of accounts receivable. Okay? And then you apply some percentage to the ending balance of accounts receivable to determine your ending balance of allowance. Then, comparing your beginning balance of allowance, you will know how much allowance you should extra set aside. That will be your journal entry amount. That is, that expense and allowance balance at the end of a fiscal year end as an adjusting entry. Okay. By the way, I have called this as allowance, but to be specific, it is allowance for doubtful accounts or uncollectible. Okay, but you know, if I write down all these words, then it takes time, so I'm just writing it as allowance. It is not confusing as far as we are focusing on this topic. As you study more topics in the later chapters, you may see a different type of allowance, but in this chapter, it is clear what kind of allowance I'm mentioning, we are discussing, so I will use it just as in write it just allowance, so no confusion. I wish there is no confusion about that. Okay, I think this method is best studied with an example. So let's have a look at a textbook example. This one. Exercise 9.5, the ledger of Costello Company at the end of the current year shows accounts receivables $110,000, sales revenue $840, sales return and allowance $20,000. A, if Costello uses the direct write-off method to account for uncollectible accounts, journalize adjusting entries at December 31st, assuming that Costello determines L. Dole's $1,400 balance is uncollectible. B, if allowance for doubtful accounts has a credit balance, okay, of $2,100 at the trial balance, meaning beginning balance. Journalize adjusting entry at December 31st, assuming that bad debts are expected to be 10% of the accounts receivable. C, allowance for doubtful accounts has a debit balance of $200. The trial balance, please note that previously the beginning balance was on the credit balance. Now it is on the debit balance. Credit balance meaning allowance is normal balance, but debit balance of allowance, it is in the abnormal side, meaning this 200 is a negative value. Okay, in the trial balance, journalize adjusting entries assuming that bad debts are expected to be 6% of accounts receivable. What it says is, here, the 10%. In B, this percentage is given as 10. In C, this percentage is given as 6, right? How much is ending balance of accounts receivable? Is given as 110. The ending balance is given as 110. And in B, the percentage is given as 10%. In C, it is given as 6%. Then then we can calculate the ending balance of allowance. Cool. Then how much is the beginning balance of allowance? It is given as in B as 2,100 on the credit side, right? So we need to calculate the difference between beginning and ending, and that will be your journal entry. In C, it is given the beginning balance of allowance is given as debit 200, not credit, but debit 200, meaning negative 200. Then how much is the difference between negative 200 and this ending balance? That difference will be your journal entry here. Okay, let's do it. Again, the given number is accounts receivable, ending balance is 110. And then what we need to do is allowance is given as, ending allowance is given as, in B, I'm talking about B, 10%, meaning ending balance is going to be 11,000. And in B, it is assumed that allowance has credit balance of 2,100 as its beginning balance. Then how much is the change? The change is going to be 8,900. This is your journal entry as of December 31st. That expense together with allowance for doubtful accounts, 8,900, 8,900. Okay, let's have a look at C then. C says, I can write it again. Accounts receivable, 110K, and allowance. Now it is assumed that the ending balance is going to be how much? 6%. The allowance's ending balance is going to be 6% of the ending balance of accounts receivable. Okay, let's follow that. 6,600. When the beginning was debit balance 200. Again, negative 200. Then what's the difference between negative 200 and positive 6,600? Yes, it is 6,800. So your answer is going to be December 31st. That expense 6,800 and credit allowance 6,800. All right. Okay, this is a simple way of estimating the allowance using a single percentage, which is 10% or 6%, right? But in the real world, way much often used method is so-called aging schedule of accounts receivable. Something like this one. What it shows as an example is, in this company's book, it is well organized that so that we can see that there are several customers with major balances, account receivable balances. Customers' names: Edward, Bert, Carl, Diker, Abbott, and all the other small accounts, which is numerous, is summed up as entitled as others. Okay, these are accounts receivables. Then we classify these accounts receivable amounts into the aging schedule, meaning out of, for example, here, Bert, 300. All of them are not yet due. 210 at 30, not yet the due date of like 30 days. But, for example, out of 700 accounts receivable of Diker, 500 are not yet due, but 200 are sort of promised way earlier. How much way earlier? Like 70 days. Okay, so 200s are 70 days due past. Okay, they are really classifying the accounts receivables based on their aging schedules. Then let's have a look at Edwards. Out of 600 accounts receivable under the name of Edward, we can see that 300 are just a few days due past, like 5 days, say. Oh, but 200 are, say, 80 days due past. Wow. And these 100 are over 90 days due past, say, wow, 200 days. Okay, 5 days due past, 80 days due past, and 200 days due past. Oh man. Then what do you think out of these three? Which one is the most likely to be uncollectible? This one is the most likely. And which one is least doubtful? We still have some hope here to collect in the end, right? But this, not likely at all. This, in between, right? And this company assigns it is 40% likely to be uncollectible, the 100 on the adults. And then it says also, based on our history, if only 5 days passed, then adults 300 is gonna be 4% likely to be uncollectible. 4% and 40%, right? In between the two, 10% and 20%. Not yet due, it is only 2% likely they will be uncollectible in the end. You know what I'm saying? You know what this table is arguing, right? Okay, I can continue talking about it, but again, in this class, I want to tell you whenever I have a chance about the use of Excel spreadsheet. So let's make this table here. Edward, Bert, Carl. Hold on. Is it me only doing this Excel work? I wish not. Please, right now, open your spreadsheet, okay? And let's do it. You can learn the Excel by practice only. Believe me, been there, done that. I studied when I was young Excel using a book, and it was of no use. I mastered Excel only after joining a company and beginning working for them. Again, I'm giving you a precious experience of using the Excel. Please open the spreadsheet and let's do it together with me. Are you ready? If you are not yet, then hold this, pause this video, and then give yourself some time. Are you resuming? Okay, let's do it. Diker. Evan. And then customers. Customer name, total balance, not yet due. How did I make the line carriage? You do press Alt and enter. Alt and enter. Hold Alt and press enter. Okay. How do you move to the vertically, horizontally? By pressing Tab key or your arrow key, but I prefer using Tab key. And number of days, 1-30. But if you type in, then Excel automatically recognizes 1-30 as January 30th, right? If you want to avoid it, press the quote, a single quotation mark. If this one is the first letter, then Excel recognizes the rest of the data in this cell as text, not date. By doing this, you can make it as it is. You can tell Excel that please print as it is, not changing it to a date. Okay, 31-60, you don't have to be worried about that. And over 90. Okay, let's add one line. What do you do? Right-hand side button and I. What's I? Insert. And then here, number of days past due. And block the full cells. And then click merge and center. Okay, I want to align to the center. So this is the option. Okay, and then let's type in 600, tap, tap, 300, tap, tap, 200, tap, 100, enter. Then Excel automatically carries the line to the front of the line. 300, tap, oh, no. 300, tap, 300, tap, 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 enter. 450, tap, tap, 200, tap, 250, tap, 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 enter. 700, tap, 500, tap, 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 200, tap, enter. 600, tap, 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 300, tap, and others. Oh my, others. 36,950, 36,950, 26,200, 5,200, 2450, 1,600, 1,500. Okay, and then moreover, I want to add dollar signs and add thousand separators, and then decrease the decimal numbers. Oh, I can easily do that. And then next line is sum of all these numbers. Sum of all these numbers. They are what you are seeing here. Okay, what do we do? Press equal sign, type in sum function, and then block all of the above. And then copy and paste. Cool, we just made a table. And you see that here are underlines, single underlines and double underlines. Double underlines meaning they are conclusions. Single underlines meaning underscores meaning you're gonna soon make a calculation. Okay, let's do that. Control 1 is your shortcut key for format cells. Click font, underline, single accounting. Cool. Again, Control 1, click, again, font is selected, underline, double accounting, and press enter. Cool. right? And then the next line is estimated percentage. They are given as 2%, and we will use percentages. So let's indicate, tell Excel that they are percentages. 2, 4, 10, 20, and 40. Okay. And then the next line is as total estimated uncollectible accounts. Total estimated uncollectible accounts. Okay. Oh, this cell is too narrow. Let's adjust it automatically. How do you do that? Move your mouse to the borderline between A and B, and then double click. No, still, we need some more space. We can make it, right? Right. Or make it as wide as possible, and then double click it. Then Excel automatically adjusts it. The same vertically. Okay, then what would be your total estimated uncollectible accounts? Do you know some of the basics in statistics? It's called expected value. Expected value is you multiply the value by the likelihood. Okay. This is the total value. Didn't we type in the total? Oh, yeah, there's nothing, no label here. Okay, what you do is multiply the value by the likelihood. So out of total amount of 27 not yet due, as they are only 2% likely, we will regard only 540 as they are likely to be uncollectible. You do the same approach. Oh my. Copy and paste, meaning, as an example, out of 1900, as they are 40% likely to be uncollectible, we regard 760 to be uncollectible in the end. Makes sense, right? And then let's sum them up. And we can say that, oh, some numbers are different. Why? 2, 4, 10, 40, 20, 40, 1900, 2000. Something is missing. 250, hey, 300 is missing. Okay, 300 to 28, 540. Some of these numbers, 22,228 is gonna be your uncollectible. What are we saying? Previously, right? Previously, we applied just 1%, right? 1% to get the ending balance. Now we are applying different percentages based on the trenches of the aging schedule, right? And then we get a number which is based on way more sophisticated methods than use of the single method, single percentage, right? This is the number that you're gonna replace this number. Okay, all right, that's the end of this video. And the next video, we gonna visit the sales of accounts receivable and notes receivables. Okay, see you there.